Morning, lovely Stanford children. Miss Denia here in her office this morning. I just want to first of all say a big welcome back to all of you. It was so lovely yesterday to see all your smiling faces coming into school, being back with all your friends and with your new teachers in years 1 and 2. And what was really lovely, Miss Remnant and I kept on saying, was to hear the noise of really excited, happy children and grown-ups. So well done to all of you and welcome back. Now we know we were really lucky to have lots of you back before the summer, so you'd already come back to school, but you're only in small groups, so it's lovely now to have you back as a class. But as we know, things are slightly different at the moment, and we've got to make sure that we keep each other and everyone else safe and happy. And so at the moment, we can't all come together in the hall as we normally would. So I thought that I would deliver my assembly to you this morning virtually. That's why I'm in my office, and you're going to watch it in your classrooms with your school grown-ups. So, you probably know what this week is all about, but I'm going to give you some clues, because normally you'd be in the hall and I'd be getting you up to share things. So I'm going to share a couple of bits with you. First one is one of my favourite books that hopefully you can, you'll be reading with your school grown-ups this week. So we've got your fantastic elastic brain. Stretch it, shape it. Okay, so hopefully we'll share that. I have got one of these. Anyone know what these are? So these are neurons, and they make the connections in your brain. Unfortunately, I've only got one side of the brain here because I just can't find the other one this morning. But they're both really important, so hopefully you'll be able to find them and you've got both sides of your brain working. I've got these, my listening ears, and hopefully you're all doing really good listening. Got these because I know you'll be doing all your really best looking. To do some learning, we're going to be needing these, our hands, because we need to be exploring to learn. And then our friend, the green mouse, who's going to help me this morning and make me feel courageous with my assembly. So I wonder if you can have a think now about what my assembly might be about. Hopefully, you know it's all about Learning to Learn Week, which is this week. And it's even more important this week, Learning to Learn Week, because we're really thinking about how we are coming back and connecting as a class, as a year group and a school. Okay, so you'll be making those relationships with your friends again in your classrooms and with your new school grown-ups in your classes. But I know that won't take you very long. And then you also need to think about those really important behaviours to enable you to be really successful learners. So I'd like you now, please, to put up your fingers and thumbs like that, and we're going to count them together, okay? Are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm now going to share my screen with you. Hopefully, some of you may have seen this assembly before, but others of you won't if you were in reception last year, so you're now in year 1. But first of all, to warm ourselves up, to warm those brains up, which we always need to do, I want you to think about my thunk, those questions to make your brain go ouch. If you could have a new brain, whose would you have and why? Okay, so have a think about what that might be for you. Now, if we were in the hall, I would normally take suggestions now. So maybe your teachers might want to pause this slide and you can have a quick discussion, or you might want to do it later on at some point or during the week. Okay, so have a think. Very interesting one, and we often get some really interesting responses to that. I'm just going to turn this around so we can now see. So, I'll come back to this in a minute. I know you probably can't see it that well from here, okay? So our assembly is all about 10 steps to brain-based learning. So are you ready then? I'm going to think about number 1. Now, what is the one thing that we all have that's all completely unique to us and incredibly important? And I'm sure at the moment our brains are buzzing. I know the school grown-ups brains are buzzing with everything that we need to be thinking about at the moment to keep you all safe and happy and excited with your learning. So are you ready? Oh, I've moved on. This is the problem when you're not doing it, when I'm not doing it live. We'll warm ourselves up then before. I'll give you a bit more time to think. Are you ready? Put one hand on your head, one hand on your nose. Now touch your head and touch your toes. Wiggle your fingers and tap your knees. Now you're ready and looking at me. Right, you ready? What was that one thing then? We have all got one brilliant brain, which is unique to us, okay? So everyone has got a fantastic brain, and we really, really need to keep our brains really fit and healthy. Okay, you ready? Now, what do we have two of? We have two sides of the brain. Now, the two sides of the brain, I don't know if you'll be able to see that from here, but anyway, two sides of the brain are really important. So the left side of your brain is really, really interested in language, logic, numbers, maths, sequence, and words. But your right side of your brain really likes rhyme, rhythm, music, pictures, imagination, and patterns. So both sides of your brain are really, really important, okay? And it's really important that we get both sides working. Okay, ready? Number 3. There are 3 ways of learning. So you learn a lot by looking. All right, and I know lots of you are incredibly observant and really noticing things about the world around you. We obviously learn by listening and listening out for each other, listening to each other, because we're all really interesting, listening to your school grown-ups, listening to your home grown-ups, and all the different ways that we pick up on what's going on in the world around us. And then we learn by doing things. So by using our hands, which I know we are keeping incredibly clean at the moment, by washing or sanitizing all the time to make sure that we don't spread any germs. So these are really important all the time. We use them so much. I think we all know how much we use them now by how much we're washing them. Okay, so there are those 3 ways of learning. Then we have got, are you ready, number 4? 4 limbs. So we've got music, movement, music, beat, and the brain, which is really, really important for us. We enjoy doing things, and actually to get both sides of the brain moving, we need to move. All right, it's really important, which is why we do things like go noodle throughout the day and have what we call brain breaks, because it's really important to get those limbs moving and to get both sides of the brain moving. So let's do that now. Okay, so now it's time to learn some more. Have a quick wiggle and either thump the floor, or if you're at your table, thump the table 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fold your arms, look this way. Now show you are ready to hear what I say. So we've got number 1, brilliant brain, 2 sides of the brain, 3 ways of learning, 4 limbs. Wonder if you can think now for number 5, what are the 5 senses? Your teachers might want to pause this so you can perhaps share them in your class, and I'm going to share them with you now. Okay, so we have got the 5 senses are sight, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Did you get all of those, or at least some of them? Hopefully. So we've got 5 senses. So let's recap. 1 brilliant brain, 2 sides of the brain, 3 ways of learning, 4 limbs, 5 senses. So we're now on number 6. So there are 6 areas of your learning, and you're really lucky at Stanford Infant School, because all your school grown-ups really try hard to provide you with lots of ways of learning and learning about lots of new things in lots of different ways. And we call that, what we call that is broad and balanced. So you're learning about the whole of our curriculum and wider world. So I'm just going to put them all up and then go through them very quickly. Okay, so the first one is personal, social, and emotional. And that's really, really important, because that's thinking about you, okay, and thinking about how we learn together, okay, so and being with each other, which is really important. And actually, we really need to think about ourselves and how we're looking after ourselves and each other at the moment. One that Mrs. Slater will really want to think about is our physical development, so keeping our brain and our bodies active. I know we're going to be doing lots of that in the coming weeks. Literacy, so your reading, your writing, your speaking and listening, really, really important. Maths, and we know we love maths at Stanford Infant School, so you'll be learning about number, shape and space, and lots of other things. Understanding the world, and I know we love learning about the world in Stanford Infant School, so you'll be doing lots of that as well. And I know with your learning journeys that are coming up, you're really thinking about how you're going to be understanding the world around you. And then expressive arts and design, so that could be anything creative, and we know how creative we are at Stanford Infant School. Okay, let's go to number 7. So there are 7 ways of learning. Okay, so you might be much more that you actually learn by listening, by looking, by speaking. That might be the way that you really, really learn. Or you might be mathematical. You might really learn by numbers. They really switch you on. You might be really logical. Everything has to make sense. You might be really musical. Learn by listening to music or writing music or playing music. You might, what we call by being a kinesthetic child, you might just learn by doing. You have to do everything. So if you love construction and building things, that might be the way you learn. You might learn by being visual and spatial. So when you're looking at things or you're learning about the world around you at the same time. You might be interpersonal. That means that you learn from each other. You love being with each other. You find it really difficult to be on your own. Or you might be the other way around, where actually you learn by being yourself and you just want to learn and being really, really studious on your own. So there's lots of different ways that you can learn. Really important, and we really remind everyone about this, so it's important to keep that brain hydrated. So you would have 8 glasses of water, which at Stanford Infant School we call what? Hopefully you've just said brain juice. I know lots of you yesterday at lunchtime were talking about your 8 glasses of brain juice and drinking lots of water while we're at lunchtime. So keep that brain hydrated throughout the day, because that's really important and will keep you ready and healthy and active and excited to learn more. Ooh. 9 ways to be creative. So this is really thinking about asking all those questions. I wonder why. What would happen if? All right, and just thinking about as many ways to be creative as you can. And I know that lots of you, we are being really creative at the moment and having to adapt and try new things. So we're probably going to be more creative than ever before. And then number 10, 10 fingers and toes. And that's where we're keeping on moving and keeping our body active at all times. So we want to think about our very special characters, the green and the grey mouse, and we've got our story that I know that you'll be sharing in your classrooms, and really thinking about how you can be like the green mouse and always have a go. And somebody yesterday, one of the children I was talking to, I asked them a question, they went, Miss Denia, I'll do my best. And that's all we can ask of any of you. So that's all we really want you to do, is to do your best, okay? So let's finish off by playing finger aerobics. So put your hands either on your knees or on your tables and just tap your fingers. Now put your hands in the air and give a silent cheer. So I shouldn't hear a sound at this time, just for being you. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and come back to you. So let's just recap then, thinking about those 10 ways of brain-based learning. So we have 1 brain, 2 sides of the brain, 3 ways of learning, 4 limbs, 5 senses, 6 areas of learning, 7 ways to learn through, 8 glasses of water or brain juice, 9 ways to be creative, and 10 fingers and toes. And you'll be thinking lots of questions this week to really get your brain working and buzzing and exploring and learning together and inspiring each other. Now I'm just going to finish my assembly, because I always bring this, and I normally always bring a banana as well, because we talk about brain food, and bananas or other fruits and vegetables are really good to get your brain active as well. But I bought this avocado. I'm going to leave it here. Why has Miss Denia got an avocado? Might just be for my lunch. But why have I got an avocado when we're doing 10 steps for brain-based learning? You can have a chat in your classrooms, and perhaps I'll catch up with you all later and you can let me know what that might be. Okay, why I've got it there. Right, I hope you have a lovely week. I look forward to coming and seeing you when I come round your classrooms. It's very strange not actually having you in the hall and talking to me. And I'm sure my assemblies will get better as time goes on. Have a great week. Well done, everybody. And enjoy Learning to Learn Week. I can't wait to see all the sorts of things that you are doing, and we can perhaps share them later on in the week. Maybe we'll have a think about a year 1 and 2 Zoom to share from classes. That might be something we could do. All right, see you later. Bye.